Hello and welcome, I am Annemie, and today we're going to be taking a look inside Slay the Spire. This is a rogue-lite card game, little bit Hearthstone inspired maybe, and we're just going to see what it's like. I've been playing this quite a bit. It's still in early access, so things are liable to change. As you can see here, we've got some unknown, unavailable features, no idea what we're missing yet. We're going to jump in. We've got a couple of character classes available. There is apparently a third coming, but we've got this sort of poisony, daggery, roguish character, and we've got this stronger, brutish character. As you can see, I've completed this one. I've not yet completed the Ironclad, so we're going to have a go on that. Hello, big whale thing. What do I want to do? I'm going to remove 2 cards, I think. Oh! Actually removed the wrong ones. I meant to remove the strikes. That means this round's going to go interestingly. Because typically you want to actually be blocking more than you attack, I found. But let's see how this goes. So I can block. So yeah, as you can see here, each card has got an energy cost. We get a certain amount of energy each turn, and they've got different effects, which can range from dealing damage to blocking to other more interesting things, which we'll see later. And you might also notice that the enemy's intentions are completely visible, so we know that both of these enemies are going to attack, well, me. We know they're going to do 5 damage with each attack, and so if we want to block it, we should have a total of 10 block. Makes sense, right? There we go. All their attacks should be blocked, and they've also got special extra effects on them. So this one has Curl Up, which this one also had. So the enemies get a little bit different. Yay! No damage taken. Okay, so this one's going to do 5 damage. This one's going to inflict a malus on us. So if I can kill this one before it has a chance to do its attack, I won't even need to block. So let's do that. And that. This card here will also apply an extra effect to the enemies, but don't really have the energy to spare to use it, so not gonna. Oh, weakened's a bit of a pain, but can deal with it. Weakened, as you can see here, means that my attacks deal slightly less damage. Oh, I could have killed it that turn. Oh well. So, let's just kill that guy. Then, once we're done, we get some nice rewards. So get a nice swift potion here, which can use once to draw 3 cards. And let's add something to the deck. I think, given that I'm now a bit low on blocks, I might add this ghostly armor. That seems good. So this is the map we're going to be exploring through. There are 3 floors, and at the end of each floor is a boss, and we get to see pretty much the whole route, which is nice. We get to essentially plan what our route through each floor is going to be. So we know that these are stronger enemies, so might avoid these. We've got rest sites here, so we might try and aim for those, might aim for treasure and so on. And it gives you a good amount of choice whilst also not being completely freeform, right? The question marks can have more different things in it, like these. I don't want the curse. Let's just give myself a donut. So this is essentially the game. It takes a lot of inspiration both from something like Hearthstone and from deck building board games like Dominion. As by adding things into your deck, you are very much engaging in that very board gaming mechanic of deck building, which I really enjoy. Okay, let's get that block and let's make them vulnerable. That seems good. And it's a mechanic that I really enjoy. The slightly negative thing I would have to say about it is that essentially it can feel a little bit, especially once you've gotten to, say, the second part of the second floor and the third floor, like you don't really want to add any more cards in, as your deck has become about as good as it's ever going to get. And the feeling of adding more cards in just ends up with a feeling of dilution rather than making your deck more powerful, as you'll have spent a lot of that time actually building up your deck and upgrading your cards, because all of these cards can be upgraded. Do I want any of these? I mean, Heavy Blade's pretty good if I end up going. Let's not take any of those at the moment. And there are very few cards which are automatic to be put into your deck. So I have to use this one because of the ethereal property. Which is a bit of a shame, but it gives me a lot of defense. It means that you feel like you're actually wasting some of your turns, which is a shame. I'm not going to be able to perfectly block this, but I do have an ability, which means that I can take some damage and still not be too injured, which is nice. The other class doesn't have that. The other class gets to draw a couple more cards at the start of each fight. Let's do that. And I like this one a bit more, as it makes you just a tiny amount more survivable. Should be able to finish it off this turn. Don't need to worry about anything else. Yes, we're maxed out on potions. Might want to use some of those at some point. Ooh, that is a good card. Let's pick that up. So where do we want to go? We want to ideally be aiming for bonfires and treasure, is my experience. We've got bonfire there, bonfire there. I think it doesn't matter which direction I go. I think... do I want to hit elites or not? Yeah, stuff it. Let's hit elites. Let's go that way. Yes, let's remove a card from my deck and let's remove one of these strikes, which is what I meant to do originally. And get myself a slightly leaner deck. You can pay to remove cards, but that also starts getting pretty expensive pretty quickly. Okay, let's... These guys are a pain in the backside, as you'll see in a moment. Because these guys, they clog up your deck. Actually, maybe I should use, for no other reason, but free up a little bit of actual, what's the word I'm looking for? Space for my potions. Can I? I can kill that this turn, but then I wouldn't be able to... Or at least I think I can. So that would be 8 damage to that one, so that would have 6. Yeah, I can kill that this turn. I think that would actually be beneficial. Yeah, why not? There we go. Because I think if I didn't do that and I did defend, I would have taken 11 damage, whereas now I'm just taking 8. And also it means one more dead enemy. Ooh, that's not a good hand, but at least I've got that. But I don't actually mind these clog-up cards that much, as in you get a lot of them, but once they've been in your hand for a turn, they get removed. So they're not there permanently, which is nice. It's somewhat more considerate. There are some negative effects which do feel somewhat obnoxious. The biggest offender for me is an effect called Confused. And what that does, fortunately this guy didn't get vulnerable because they had an artifact which negates a debuff. But what Confused does is it randomizes the cost of every card when it gets drawn into your hand. And that's for the whole game. It's not time limited, it's just, that's what happens. Oh, I can't avoid damage this turn. Oh well, worst things happen at sea. I've already beaten the game with both the Ironclad and... I forgot what the other one's called. The... Shadow? Maybe? Something like that? I don't know. Why not? So I'm not feeling too precious about individual runs. But yeah, it's a game that I enjoy very much. It's one of those that, again, you can play somewhat passively, so to speak. You can kind of switch off and just go on autopilot. I find that with a lot of deck builders, actually. I can play things like, in the board game realm, Ascension and Dominion without really thinking about it. And that's kind of fun, because not every game should demand all of your attention. Ooh, that's a cool artifact. I don't think I've seen that one before. Ooh, and Barricade is really good. I'm taking that. Good! One of the other things that I would say needs a bit of work is some of the designs, and particularly the animation. It doesn't feel great. So, for instance, I think these enemy designs are pretty good, but the character design I really don't like all that much. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have the energy to play that this turn, but I will cope. These guys, because of their effect, you kind of want to kill them at the same time if at all possible. Because vulnerable, it doubles the incoming damage on you, which is a pain. Okay, I'm gonna take damage from this regardless, but I can kill... Let's block. Because I don't want to take double damage from that 9. But they've got plenty of time to add these things and put in a bit more polish. The foundations of a really good game is it. Why do I keep drawing Ghostly Armor and Barricade in the same hand? Curse you! Let's do that, and why not? Let's cycle through the deck a bit quicker. Because Ghostly Armor's really good, but I'd like to have it in a hand that doesn't have Barricade. Or just have more energy to use. You can get artifacts which increase your energy. This is not good. Let's try and kill that one, because I can do that this turn. That will double the damage I get. Oh, it's not actually double. Oh, it's 50% more. Sure. I mean, it's still not great, but... Then... Oh, it... Of course. Of bloomin' course. But if you like card games, if you like building an engine whilst also being conscious of the fact, finally, but now's the turn where I actually don't need Barricade because I can just outright kill them. Whilst also being aware of the fact that you have a human tendency to want to put more things in, but that's not necessarily a good thing. That looks like it would combo really well with Barricade. It might dilute my deck a little bit too much, but let's see how it goes. Let's upgrade some things. So that might give me 13. That makes Barricade cheaper, which is very appealing. That makes Entrench cheaper, which is also appealing, but not as appealing as that. Let's do that and see how we continue and get some treasure. Get some more relics. Oh, that is really good. That will combo quite nicely with Burning Blood, actually. Because it means I can miss a little bit of damage without losing the whole thing. Let's head up this way. Ooh, I'm getting lots of card removal. I like this. Means I get to keep a really lean deck. But I don't think there's much more to be said about the game. I could block that entirely. Oh, actually, it'll only do 5 damage to me if I do that, which will get reduced down to 1, which is fine. Wait. Did I forget to pick up the artifact? I forgot to pick up the artifact. That is frustrating. These guys can be somewhat of a pain, though. You want to kill them quickly, because they will run away with your money. I could have sworn that I picked it up, but... oh, well. Worst things happen at sea. Shall I do the 8 or... yeah, let's make it vulnerable. That's going to be useful for the future. So yeah, if you like the look of this game, it's pretty cheap on Steam at the moment. Do check it out. If you've liked the look of this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. I also do Hitman Let's Plays, Final Fantasy XII Let's Plays, a Deus Ex Mankind Divided Let's Play. Yeah, I can kill it this time, can't I? Yeah, good! I do more first looks at games, and I also take a look at the week's news whilst playing Euro Truck Simulator. So please check that out. But above all, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your day. Goodbye!